Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is normally when I have a client and they're like, great, I need help with my social media, I need help with my branding, I need help with my social media presence. What we do is we go through an audit. So you're going to get exactly what I go through as my audit, but I'm going to just go through and talk it through so that you can have steps. So if you're just starting out or if you're already there, you can always go through your audit. If you are an existing brand, then I suggest going through once a quarter. You can always go through, maybe delete, repeat posts, repeat pictures of an event or things like that, and you may be taking a different direction. So it's always time to go through. So step one when we first started is we're talking about the cleanse. You want to get rid of any ugly pictures, any irrelevant photos, any pictures that are low quality. So what do I mean by say low quality? Well, your subscribers will tell you if they like it or if they don't. So for instance, if you got a picture with Bae and you only have maybe 20 likes, but then you talk about inspirational story or person that you really break through, you have 100 likes or 500 likes, well then I'm telling you what you like. So give them less of what they don't like and more of what they like. And at this point, it's all about your brand, so it doesn't really matter. If you want to do that, you need to have a personal page. But if you're trying to be this presence, then people look at engagement. People look at what's happening with you, and they want to make sure that you're growing. So when I go back 6 months from now, I want to make sure that, okay, maybe your average was 200 likes. But now you've grown maybe 4,000 followers, then you need to have, it needs to reflect that as far as engagement. So are you doing that? And if you're not, then go back and just delete them. Yes.
Do you want me to?
Yeah. No, ask questions. Yeah.
Okay. So this is where I struggle. So I do have a company.
Okay.
The pictures that get the most likes are literally like just pictures of me, like just me. The ones where I'm talking about events that I'm at and stuff like that, stuff that I'm doing for the community, they don't get only pictures of me, like me on vacation or something, like,
right.
They get the most likes.
Right.
That's not necessarily, but then also a big part of my business also is the spiritual component.
Okay.
And I kept it out of that for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But then when I was just like, you know what, it's not authentic. So when I added that in, then I got even less likes and less followers. So what do you?
Okay, so first things first, if people like pictures of you, then reuse those pictures and go on Canva. Are you familiar with Canva? Okay, so Canva is canva.com and it's a Photoshop for dummies. So you don't need to know how to do Photoshop at all. It's literally, I'm gonna upload this picture. Okay, I want a blog right here. I want an excerpt right here. I want shapes. Like you can do anything you want. Custom colors, everything in 5 minutes.
Okay, it's not on Android.
Okay.
So you can use it from your
Well, I see that you can like add pictures. Well, you can add like
overlays and things like that.
Well, but you can't make the quality of the picture itself enhance.
No, so you have to have a quality picture. So you would probably need to go and do a photo shoot. Get a professional photo shoot, 3 different looks around the city and just repurpose them. So people like you, they like looking at you, so have 2 pictures of you in a professional setting.
Oh, because I don't have like a professional camera. So right, like the ones that are taken on the iPhone, they're not looking as crisp.
Exactly. So you need to find a site. I can give you the photography you need one, or they're all over. You can go on Craigslist, just find one and be somebody's muse.
And then you take pictures like this, and you put a quote right there, and they're like,
right.
You say about like my event?
Like that.
You're like, I'm always have to do that.
Or something, but if they like you, they want to see your face. Like that's why people like you. They're following you because you're pretty. So Instagram's very visual, so that kind of makes sense. So feed into that.
Thank you.
You can.
And what do you suggest about the God part?
Your hashtags are off because being a Christian is very popular on social media. Okay. So you just find some hashtags so you can get some followers and save.
Okay.
So if I were you, I would follow whoever is popular, like Heather Lindsay. She's popular. Look at her hashtags and find out what she's using so that you can be a part of that same thing.
you say Heather Lindsay?
Heather Lindsay's a popular one. Dana, is it Dana Brown? She has the the Sprinkle of Jesus app. So you can find her. She's pretty Christian. Like, usually find some like-minded ones and get them hashtags. That's what it's all about. It's all about hashtags. That's how people outside of your reach find you.
That is so true.
Sprinkle of Jesus, the app. I'm not sure. I know her name is Dana. I don't know her last name.
I thought you said Brown.
I did, but I can't. Don't confirm. Don't say that. I really
You
said
don't
that.
need any more followers. What you doing?
She's like,
But if you Google Sprinkle of Jesus, then it'll show. If you Google Sprinkle of Jesus, then it'll show who created it. It's a girl. She's light skinned, and you'll go from there.
Thank you.
So you
The
know
one that
who
just
I'm talking
recently got engaged.
about. That's her. See?
Yes,
You already know. So if you can find it on Instagram, then feel free to scream it out. But things like that. So
Thank you. Thank you.
even here in Chicago, like you got All Nations Worship, use that hashtag ANWA. I'm sure you get some followers. You got what other one is that? John Hannah, use him too. Like use those churches hashtags, and I'm sure you'll get where you gotta go.
Girl, that's my shirt.
See, so why don't you use the hashtag when you go to church?
Well, for one, when I asked them, like, could I, like, share that I'm doing events, they were like, no.
No, I'm just on Instagram. Use their hashtag.
Okay.
You go to New Life
Because
or
they
Emma?
even have New Life, she goes. So even here, there's that couple that's young, black, and married. So they're here. They're based in Chicago, and maybe doing different events.
Making good in their God.
Yeah, they're here.
Making good is it?
No.
she was like, hold on, wait a minute.
Where's she at right now?
No, but I think they're based here, so they're
I know what
doing.
you're talking about.
So you can maybe either partner with them, or if anything, just use their hashtags.
Yeah. No, that's
That's all it's about. Like people be trying to start their own hashtags. I'm okay with you
I
do
try
one or
to.
two. Just do one or two for you. But other than that, that's it. Because no one's following you until you become a follower
Until they
yourself.
follow you, yeah. From my blog, we use one hashtag. Our website is called Classic City Chic. So that's our hashtag we use so that if anybody is searching for us in particular, they can find us. But we do exactly what Danielle said to do. Like, we found the popular hashtags within like the style blogger community, and that helped us get our followers up a lot quicker than, just people browsing and perusing Instagram, because now there's so much on Instagram. Instagram has become so saturated. It's hard for people to find you. But if you use those popular hashtags that people are searching all the time, then you'll pop up, especially like in their most recent photos and things like that. That's how people find you for real.
And you may want to throw in a little like Beyonce every now and then.
Oh yeah.
For real, a little bit Beyonce hashtag, because when people find Beyonce or Kim Kardashian, you'll pop up.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to throw that in too. It's a balance. Hashtag Beyonce.
Just toss that in the
Ride
mix.
the coattails. Okay. So then the next one is for Twitter. So if you're on Twitter and you want to build that following, your tweet should be about 70% brand, 30% personal. So if you found like your old line sister from like 10 years ago, we don't want to hear back and forth. Hey girl, what you doing? Girl, you still talk to him? He ain't shit. Like we don't want to hear any of that on your Twitter. So delete that. That's not for that. 70% brand, 30% personal.
So how popular are hashtags on Twitter?
They're popular too.
Like as popular as in, like people search specific
So
hashtags?
this is what I would say. And basically, if you're trying to do Twitter, I suggest that and you'll get that when you get my social media checklist. There are Twitter parties. So Twitter parties are put on by bigger brands. So for instance,
How do you find out about Twitter parties?
so I'll give you some, and then you just kind of have to find these brands. So for instance, Black Creatives. Black Creatives is started by a girl that lives here that works for Ebony, but has her own Black Creatives like on the side, right? So her hashtag is Black Creatives. It's for Black people that are in business, arts, whatever. So they'll have a Twitter party once a month. Let's say that they have it every third Thursday from 6 to 7. So you're supposed to use that hashtag and join in the conversation. So the goal is for you to follow each other that are using that conversation. So we both have the commonality because we're Black creative. Now let me figure out which one of you guys that I really like. So it's even if Beyonce was my ex on Twitter, she would have one called the Beehive, right? So she would pick the topic, and we would be like, oh, can we figure out who I like because we both like Beyonce. That's our commonality. So the thing is to find those, and then eventually you can start doing it the same as well. But you also want to use the trending ones. So Twitter does a great job of telling you just what's trending. So when it's trending in the world, then you can figure out and talk about what's happening in the world, what's happening in the United States, what's happening in Chicago. You can even narrow it down. So that's another thing that you need to do. But that's how you find different people, through those hashtags. So like when Kurt Bay went out, you could have jumped on that and had the conversation and met people. And if you're funny, then it goes viral, people follow you. If you're getting into an argument, again, that's cool too. It's back and forth dialogue. People are both following you and retweeting you. But you're using those hashtags to become relevant.
So let me ask you this. So in that party, are you focused on communicating with people on whatever the topic is, or are you more so focused on saying something catchy or something?
Both.
Alright.
Because you want to stand out in the party,
Okay.
but you also want to be relevant. And people aren't just gonna if we're talking about, let's say, Black Lives Matter, and they're talking about some situation, and you're like, follow my brand, da 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 da. I mean, somebody may find it, but you're not engaging in the conversation.
And the last question is, how do they find out about the party? Like whoever's hosting it, they just post like
Yeah, it's
party from 6 to 7.
Yeah, it's normally on their description.
Oh, okay. Because that's something they do on the regular.
Because it's their hashtag, they created it.
Okay.
Just like the girl boss. Like everybody uses the girl boss, but really one person created it. And so she's the one that can use it. We can use it for Instagram and stuff, but if you put stuff on your stuff saying girl boss with the hashtag, she does have the trademark and can send cease and desist if she wants to.
And I have two questions there.
Yeah.
So the first one, okay, because my fiance was telling me about this. So I have a personal page. On Instagram, I have like 2,513. And so that is like for my motivational speaking and everything. And so I've been using it for my motivational quotes because I'm like, this is where I have the huge following at.
Yeah.
But now I've been thinking about creating another page specifically for L Root Academy. So I'm thinking about turning my personal page and still keeping the motivational quotes and then like posting here and there like some personal stuff of me. But then I was thinking about creating a business page that's just for my not-for-profit and my for-profit. So that's a good idea, right? To have a personal and a business page?
I say yes and no. I say yes because it is, but it's twice as much work.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we can look at things like, yes, there's Urbanly, right? Or even National Like I'm Gay, and they have different Instagrams for all the different chapters now, and they have a big one that's following, and it's important, right? And it's working to have a business. But then we also have me, that does Snob Life, right? So she's real popular, she's in Atlanta, she has like a makeup salon, weave and makeup like studio. But she's like David Ross, so she has like millions of followers. She just has me. She doesn't have Snob Life. They don't even have an Instagram. She just does her whole thing. But everything is me, from her YouTube to her Instagram. But when you go to her store, it's nice. The floors are encrusted with diamonds. Like, it's a really nice establishment. I've gone. But she decided that she didn't want to do two. She is her brand, and she is her at the same time.
Right.
So it's no right or wrong answer. I would actually try both, and then see if it works or not. But I mean, I have Danny So Fancy, which is my personal one, and I have Average Black Girl. And it's still a struggle because people like me. So at this point, I'm posting both because if I want people to know about something, then I need to use both at this point. But eventually, I want her to grow because I don't want me to ever say, well, I can't post that I'm like, 6 months pregnant or something. I can't post it or something super personal, or if I lost my parents or something. I want to never say that I can't post because it goes against my brand.
Right.
But if you incorporate it, it could work. So I would try and see which one you like. But there's no right or wrong answer.
Yes, thank you for that because now I feel as though the reason why I do want to create the business page is because now I feel like my personal page is all motivational quotes. And I love my motivational quotes. I have my motivational Monday, Tenacious Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I love my motivational quotes, but it's like, dang, like sometimes, I just want to post my ring. I just got engaged, So sometimes I just want to post.
Or a swimsuit. Or a swimsuit with your bride and your bride's face in Vegas.
And it's like, right, get me in. But now it's like my personal page has turned into all motivational quotes, and I just, that's why I'm like, I need another
But you
page.
can also post more than one time. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, but it's true. Yeah, no, it's open
I have
dialogue.
like my personal page that literally is like just my friends and it's only like maybe 150 people. And so that, but and you know, it's like I don't feel any good like post on there all the time. But on my business one, I usually, you know, I wake up in the morning, I'm laying there, I don't want to move or do anything. That's when I'll like put something up on my page. You know, for the business. So the business one.
Right.
I was gonna say for me, I found that I have one. So, and I do business and personal.
And personal.
It's a lot. It's a lot to manage.
Yeah.
It can be a lot.
I have 2 accounts as well, but there's also 2 of me in a sense because I have a blogging partner. But I was even just telling my blogging partner earlier today, like I get overwhelmed with our blogs Instagram because you have to engage with people. It's a lot, and we do post more often on our blog page than we both do on our personal. I know I still post more on my personal page than she does, but on our blog we're posting like 3 times a day on our blog's page. But we did want to make our blog and that brand a separate entity. So if you feel like your personal page is kind of overwhelming you in that sense, like you feel like you can't be you, then like Danielle said, try it out and, you know, try some of the tools that she has to help you with like scheduling and things like that, because that can help you manage it. But 2 pages, it can be a lot of work, but it's also beneficial. So it's like, which is the lesser of 2 evils for you?
And I mean, you're working at school, you get an intern. So
It's true.
Yes.
Okay, so under my company, there's so many like different entities
Okay.
that I run.
Do you have an umbrella?
Yeah, I have an umbrella company, and under it, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a speech therapist.
Okay.
I am a travel consultant.
Okay.
I am a children's book author.
Yes.
And I'm a facilitator for like learning and language and literacy. As God gives me more,
Right.
there may be more that gets put
Right.
under that. Is that too like different, too much like to like,
No.
you know what I mean?
No, I don't think so. I just think that it's all about how you relate to the world. So what I would do is I would actually send a survey to your followers. Do you have a newsletter?
Mm-mm.
So I would have a newsletter so that as you're getting all these people going to your site or your Instagram, you want to capture that so you can sell it to them later, because people buy from who they know. So you can get to know them in their inbox.
I get those from people all the time.
Yeah, so it's time for you to do it. You can get on
Oh,
MailChimp.
well, no, I was gonna say it's annoying. Like I never answer. Like,
But those people, but that, it depends. So
Yeah.
if they're opting into you, it's not going to be as annoying. And if you make it a monthly newsletter or a bi-weekly newsletter, then it's not spammy.
You said MailChimp.
MailChimp, yeah.
One thing too, because I was the same way. I've narrowed down for now, but for now. But I had an umbrella company too, and I just did it under an alias, which is Bridgelicia. But I had this idea to have a website that linked out to all the things, and the way that I made that make sense was I figured out what the common denominator between all those things were. So I was life coaching, I was doing photography, I was doing work with kids, and then I was also doing like marketing and PR, which is kind of like the furthest out there. But what I realized was the things that brought those all together were, 1, my passion for the arts, and 2, my passion for people. So when I named my life coaching company, I named it The Art of Definition. So now we have art here, photography is art, marketing and PR is like creative arts, and then kids, so my people.
So what is the name of your brand?
Let's Talk Incorporated.
So that's broad enough that it makes sense.
Yeah. And you're
Talk
talking.
is speech therapist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, everything makes sense under that. So I think it's more so for you probably need to figure out a website layout that makes sense for multiple things. So you may want to have one that has like a tab and then it goes to another basically site, but it's still on the same site. And you have another page that goes through